We'll move just a little bit. So we'll start standing. Feet hip distance apart. A little wider is always nice. I like mine almost as wide as the mat. Take a bend into the knees move forward, and the hips just gently glide back. So we hold this sort of zigzag shape in the legs where we've got this hollow in the ankle, little pocket in, hollow in the back of the knee, little tuck in, hollow in the groin right here, little tuck in. And the butt can widen. You can even take your hands to your bum and widen the base. Just even little pulses here sitting into the seat. So we hold this springiness in the knees, gently bent. More weight is in the front of the foot, less in the heel. And we can connect into the paw, press it down and out to the side to fire into the glute medius. Reach your arms forward. The more we press our arms forward, the more we can widen the shoulder blades. So arms pushing forward, searching for hollows in the armpits, just pockets in the armpits. Holding that spaciousness for the rib cage to be expansive and wide on all sides. Bend into the knees, sit back, sit deep, and then rising like spring up to the side. Spring, rise, hips back wide. Chin is lifted, just pulsing with little puffing into each side of the ribs. We lift. Hold the fullness of the heart, lengthen the belly. Knees forward, hips back. Okay. Come through center, connect your fists together and place them to the top of your head. The elbows hug narrow forward. Root the hips back, hold your roots, and then rise up, press into the hands, lengthen the belly. Sit wide, knees forward, hips back, lift through the middle. One more time, knees forward, hips back, lift center. Okay. Release your hands. Keep your second knuckle, the index finger connected. Hands low, down by the belly button, but the elbows press forward and wide. Lift up the chin and open the throat. Shift the weight into the left foot, hover the right heel. Dig your paw forward, sends the hips back. Drag the paw back, engages the back line of the leg. Pick up the foot, hold your engagement by an energetic hamstring hug energy towards the bum. Hinge at the hips, takes the torso forward just a little bit, and the hips wide and back behind. Keep your right knee hugging forward of your groin. Press the elbows forward and wide, lift up your chin. Little pulse up and down on your standing leg. Notice your left toes, keep them connected to the mat. Knee hugs forward, hips root back. Belly stays long, heart stays full. Lift up your chin. Okay, find some stillness. Sweep your right foot all the way back behind into, it's kind of like this dancey place, zigzag pose. Reach your arms forward and wide, lift up your chin. Root the hips back, allow the arms to widen and rise, and then press down, lift up. Keep the butt moving back, keep your heart lifted and high, and then press down to lift up. Okay. Next time you sit deep into your seat, arms wide, arc up and over towards the left side. Connect your left hand to the inside edge of your left thigh or right beside your knee. Sit deeper and then spring rise, lift up into that big crescent, arc up and rise into the right side. Little pulses here. Resist your hand into the thigh. Hips back, lengthen the belly. One more pulse. Okay. Arms wide. Eyes forward. Take a little spring into infinity. Right heel connects either to the shin or to the knee. The standing leg is bent, so it's okay to have your heel on your knee. Knees forward, hips back. Press the arms forward, hold the fullness in the back. Lift up your chin. One more full inhale, pressing forward, lifting, lengthen to the belly, ribs rise, chin is lifted. Come back to a neutral spine. Right foot releases from the connection. Hinge at the hips to take the torso forward and the hips back. Lightly land your right paw back. Bring your hands to your hips. We're kind of in like this high lunge. The feet are parallel forward on railroad tracks or hip distance apart. Hands at the hips, give them a little flip. Hands to the bum, grab low, spread wide, lift up from behind, and then begin to extend into your left leg. So you find this extension, pulsing extension. You can keep your hands at your bum because it feels nice, or you can take your hands to the tops of the thighs. You want to maintain a gentle microbend in the front knee and connect the toes, dig them down, drag them back. The idea is rooting your left femur into your hip socket. You can even take your left hand to your left butt, widen the flesh of your butt upwards and out as you take the right hand to the left thigh and mold the flesh inwards. So the thigh rotates inwards as the butt rotates outwards. Widening of the pelvic floor. One more pulse here. Hey. Reach your arms forward and wide. Keep the lightness of the heart lifted and full. Chin is lifted. Begin to bend, 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 bend into the knees to lower your right knee down. Cool. Sit the hips back. Arc up and over towards the right. Root back, soft belly. Arc up and over to the right. Root back, hand plants down. Slide the right hand out in alignment with the right knee. Lots of space so that the wrist lands ahead of the shoulder. Root the hips back and take a big stretch. Reach your left arm long towards the right side. Option to connect your left fingertips to the ground. One more full inhale, just to, actually I'll show what this looks like. It looks like this. Rising ribs, drop ear to shoulder, hips root back, soft belly. One more full inhale. Cool, and then coming back up, plant your hands forward to the mat, tuck your right toes, lift up to step back. A little shift of your hips side to side. Externally rotate your right hand, toes and knees twist to the left. Hips root back, rise into the left ribs. Pulsing here, bending and extending, lift the chin, open the throat. Come back through center. And pedal your heels. And pressing the mat away, hold the fullness in the back of your heart. Externally rotate the left hand, toes and knees twist to the right. Sit the hips towards the heel, big rise up into your right side. Lift the chin and open the throat. Okay, hands plant forward, eyes look forward. Take a big hop forward. Big bend into the knees, knees forward, hips back. Press your arms forward to rise all the way up. Connect your hands low by the belly. A little glide of your ribs side to side, make it soft. Hey. So hands low, connecting the second knuckle of the index finger. A little spring in the knees, knees forward, hips back. Press the elbows forward, widen the heart. Shift the weight into the right foot, hover the left heel. Dig your paw forward, sends the hips back. Drag the paw back, engages the back line of the leg. Pick up the foot, hold the engagement with a hamstring hug, heel towards the bum. We'll take a gentle hinge at the hips, send the butt back and the torso forward just a little bit. Keep your left knee hugging forward of the groin and begin to pulse up and down on your standing leg. Keeping a gentle bend in your right knee all the time. A little hamstring hug energy connecting to the engagement of your left bum. Heart is full, chin is lifted, belly's long. Okay, find some stillness. Sweep your left foot back behind into zigzag. Release the arms forward and wide. Arms are wide, heart is high. Sit deep, sit back, sit wide. Press down, lift up. Couple pulses here into this deep wide squat. Butt widens behind, belly stays long, chin stays lifted. The arms rise as we lower down, then press down to lift up. Okay, next time you sit deep, take your right hand to the inside edge of your right thigh. A little resistance here. Root the hips back and then rise up high into the left side. Couple little pulses here. Connect the toes. Resisting the hand against the thigh, rising up higher into the left ribs. One more pulse. Release your arms forward and wide. Lift up the chin. Take a little spring into infinity. Connect your left heel to your shin or to your knee. Standing leg stays bent. Knees forward, narrow. Hips back. Lengthen the belly, lift into the ribs. Rise the chin, open the throat. Press the arms forward, hold the fullness of the back. Arms are at the shoulder height. We lift with the ribs and the belly, not with the arms. Lift up the chin, open the throat. One more full inhale. Exhale, come back to a neutral spine. Step your left foot back behind, hinging at the hips to step it back. Take the hands to the hips. So here we land in a short-ish stance so we can keep our knees bent. Our feet are on railroad tracks or hip distance apart. Hands at the hips, bend into the knees, little flip of the hips. Take the hips to an anterior tilt. Hands to the bum, grab low, spread wide, lift up from behind as you begin to lengthen into the right leg. So gentle pulses here. Creeping extension into that right leg. You can hold your bum or you can take your hands to the tops of the thighs. Hold this light brightness in the ribs. Lift up the chin. Use your toes, dig them down, drag them back, and the idea is like rooting the right femur back into the hip socket. You can take your right hand to your right bum, lift up, widen. As you take the left hand to the right thigh, narrow the thigh inwards as the butt widens outwards. It's like this spiraling action, widening the pelvic floor as you extend back. One more full inhale. Okay, release your arms forward and wide. Lift up the chin, hold the fullness in the heart. Begin to bend into your left knee. The knee moves forward, the hips glide back. Hold the fullness of the heart. Untuck your left toes, press the top of the foot down, gentle drag back. Root the hips back, arc up and over towards the left. Hips sit back and wide, soft belly, lift up. Next time you sit the hips back, slide your left hand out in alignment with the left knee. Right hand, big stretch, reach it long. Hips root back, soft belly rising, right ribs. Option to connect your right fingertips forward of your left hand. Hips root back, soft belly, lift up the chin. Moving with the hips, the belly stays long. Rising gently into the expansion of the right ribs. Take one more pulse here. Okay. Sit back. Take the hands back forward to the mat. Heart forward, push down the mat, broaden into the back. Tuck your left toes, lift up to step back. Little pulse. Externally rotate your right hand, twist to the left to lower your hip down. Extend your arm long to lie onto your side, to roll onto your back. Catch your knees. Little rock side to side. The knees can pull heavy. The arms long. Lift up the chin. Open the throat. And that's all she wrote.